It's about time. What's going on?
Rumor report, rumor report. This is the Rumor Report
Talk to him.
with Angela Yee on The Breakfast Club.
Yes, so August Alsina was on Young Money Radio and he was talking to Lil Wayne, of course, about the entanglement situation. Now, here's what August Alsina had to say about why he even told his personal business.
As for what people may say or whatever, or if it's looking like I'm doing something for attention, absolutely not. What's perplexing to me is that, I never think it's anybody's business to know my business, right? And my personal business, right? But when my personal business starts to affect my lifestyle and my livelihood, like I lost, partnerships and deals behind that situation because it looked to the world as if August Alsina was some, reckless New Orleans that I'm just pushing up on somebody's wife.
I mean, he's doing it for publicity, but it's his story to promote. Like, when you are an artist, all of your life experiences become promo. He's got an album out. He just did a song called Entanglement and released that. He's turning Lemons into Beyonce's 6th album. It's fine. It is what it is.
Yeah, the song Entanglement has Rick Ross on it, right?
Yes.
Yep.
We're going to play some of that in a second. But what he's saying is not that. He's saying that he lost a lot of deals because of that relationship and people didn't believe him. So people thought he was just pursuing a married woman and it made him look bad. So he wanted to set the record straight on what really happened. And
I don't care why he did it. It's his story to tell.
All right. And in addition to that, he's saying that he did indeed have a conversation with Will Smith and did get his blessing, even though they're saying that's not true. Here's what he said.
Everything that I spoke on in my initial interview is and was and still is my exact truth. I sat and had a conversation. As two men, we had a conversation, and that's what it was. And we sat down as two men like, yo, boom, you have my love. You have my blessing. And that's the situation as a whole.
All right. It sucks, though, that I'm sure everybody that does an interview now that's going to be the hot topic. But he also put out a song.
I do reference back what Jada said in the Red Table Talk interview, though. Nobody can give the blessing except for her.
Okay, and here's part of the Entanglement song, in case you haven't heard it yet. And yes, Rick Ross is on the song also.
That was Rick Ross's idea, actually. Rick Ross said that August should drop an album called Entanglement. But he just put out an album, so why not put out a single and then put that single on the album? That's the beauty of having those streaming services nowadays. You can add records.
That word entanglement, boy, let me tell you something.
That was the right word, though. That wasn't the word she used is actually the right word. When you look up the definition of entanglement, it is indeed a complicated or compromising relationship or situation. So technically, that was the right word.
Right.
Yeah,
and then when we did
a complicated relationship, definitely.
And when we did the interview, I said disentangle. So I guess it is an entanglement. So yeah, I guess that's the word people are going to be using from now on. That's crazy. All right. In addition to that, Keke Palmer has broken her silence on what happened with Strahan, Sarah, and Keke with the show being canceled. And she wrote, I want to speak on this simply because I hate the narrative that if you speak your mind as a Black person, that you will in some way be punished. I have seen this going around, and at first I ignored, but in this climate, I realized this is a dangerous message to send to our generation and the generation coming up. If anything, my speaking out showed the corporations I work with how important my voice is and anyone that has a POV. The reality is I was never signed to SSK as one would a seasonal show. The business is dynamic, and instead of thinking me as a series regular, see me as a brand that works with the corporation Disney, ABC News, and this particular show I was on is no longer. That does not mean the relationship I have with them dies. That means it evolves. I hate talking about business because it can seem a bit weird and gets quite technical, but when I see such fear-mongering comments, I want to speak out so that no one ever feels or thinks that speaking out will cost them their job. I'm sure it can and has before, but let's also recognize when it has not. So she just wants to put a stop to that false narrative that because she was outspoken, the show was canceled and she was taken off. She said, no, that's not how it went.
I agree with her. You know what I'm saying? Because it is dangerous for people to think that you can't speak truth to power without being punished. But let me tell you something. Even if truth to power is spoken and you get in trouble, so what? It's good trouble. Word to John Lewis. And if you lose something, it's probably not for you anymore.
All right. Well, I'm Angela Yee, and that is your Rumor Report.